puncture through it like a nail. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Visual Effects Artist React. We've got a hot episode for you today. We're looking at Superman.
Not only are we gonna check out Superman and some of the most amazing flying shots, but also K-pop Demon Hunters. Yes, it's actually a pretty sick movie and the animation team's awesome. Also, we're gonna have the everlasting sweetness of some shots from Star Trek Into Darkness. There's no bad CGI in this episode.
Yeah, this is only good CGI.
Guys, whoops, all good CGI.
Let's start this episode off with something brand new, hot off the press. Superman.
Super who?
Man. But fun fact, I hear David Cornsweat, Superman himself, is a fan of this channel. So David, if you're watching, hi, and there's a spot for you whenever you're ready.
Dude, Nico said he had a FaceTime call with him.
He did?
And that's why Nico's not in this episode today, because we want to have a totally impartial review of this film. And since Nico's best friends with David, we told him, sit this one out.
Yeah. He's been compromised. So let's start with the newest addition to the DCU. That's the involvement of Crypto, Superman's dog.
Wow.
Dude,
The technology.
no way, hold up. The only thing I know about this dog is that it was never real, and I can't believe that. He's behind a flare. He's perfectly in the center of that circular flare. That's directing right there.
The reference was actually James Gunn's dog. So this is how he acts. I mean, I hope not this unruly, but.
This is the first time I've watched dog animation and gone like, that's a doggone dog, man.
So this dog was designed and created by Framestore. They have worked with James Gunn in the past. They did Guardians of the Galaxy. They made Cosmo, another awesome looking dog. So they designed that and they developed some really cool additional little videos and test videos.
Literally, I thought we were looking at reference for a moment, and then I was like, no, this is just Crypto.
So that's the real dog.
Oh, wow. For a moment, I was like, no way.
Yeah.
How do they, oh, this is real.
That's James
We're actually
Gunn's
now
dog.
finally looking at a real shot. Oh!
Yeah.
I blinked during the crossfade, and I looked at it, I was like, wait, we're looking at Crypto. I'm so confused. I am just so blown away, because I'm seeing the same life in that dog as I see in my own dog at home.
Yeah, and you've got all that complexity along with the animation of recreating a dog that feels like a dog. But then you've got also the cape, which is another problem because Superman stands up straight, his cape drapes naturally. So that CG cape's easier to do naturally, you just tether it to him. But with this dog, you've got a cape that is draped over your back. And what they found very quickly on in early tests is no matter what the motion of the dog did, it would immediately slop off to one side.
Oh, sure.
So they had to very elegantly constrain the cape to the back of the dog, even through all these complex motions.
Like hairpins?
Yeah, basically like hairpins, yeah. Essentially like fur pins.
hairpins.
The thing is, you need it to stretch. They need to be like constraints that are almost like springy, because you see when he turns quickly, the cape kind of almost goes off, but then kind of returns.
You need a little bit of give there. So that would be what's called a distance constraint. And you would just weaken it so it can stretch further from its initial distance between basically the point on the cape that is tethered to the point on the geometry of the dog. You allow a little bit of stretching before it tries to pull its way back to that initial position again.
Because this is the thing about capes. It's like capes aren't actually cool, but in movies they are because they're not real.
Because they don't get in the way.
Yeah, everyone does CGI capes because real ones aren't cutting it. Yeah, check that. Wait, do you see that? Oh, there's something on the lens. Oh yeah, subscribe. They could just put a little smudge on the lens there for the just have it fade in over the previous few shots, and then have me come over and actually wipe it out, please.
I put your parents' message on to soothe you.
Thank you.
Bradley Cooper is in this?
Bradley Cooper is in this.
Oh, he's Jor-El, isn't he?
Yeah. There was one really cool aspect to that call that blew my mind a little bit.
Oh yeah, they filmed it on volume.
Their head moved.
They totally filmed it volumetrically.
They did not want to go with the general 2D glitch approach. They wanted a 3-dimensionality to it. So yeah, this was done through 4D Gaussian splatting.
They did Gaussian splatting for this?
Gaussian splatting.
I don't know why we say 4D, because it's just a Gaussian splat.
Well, it's the fourth dimension is the temporal nature of it.
The element of time.
What's happening is that they're doing a Gaussian splat for every single frame. So every single frame is an entirely new photogrammetry model, basically. And then you just play those frames together. I know it's a lot more complicated than that, but it's essentially what's happening.
Yeah, it's a lot of data.
Lot of data.
So they are filming these actors with 192 cameras at 24 frames per second.
I knew that right away because I was like, wait a second, the way they're tracking him into these scenes and all these different angles is like, there's no way this is pre-planned.
Is this the first example of a Gaussian splat in a Hollywood movie?
Probably.
I think so. And what's cool about it is, you know, you film with all these cameras. It took about 5 days to process that 2 minutes of footage into a point cloud that you could actually use.
There's a few places that do it, but it is really intense to set up.
Yeah, you basically take that super dense point cloud and then pull it into Houdini, and they're just points in space. So you can manipulate those points. You can take off the head and actually rotate it. And you're getting these glitching patterns on basically three-dimensional geometry.
I completely glossed over the fact that they're tracked into the shot perfectly at a huge scale.
Yeah.
It's like if you were to do that practically in camera, you would require a scaled sort of motion control system that is able to do one large move and then one smaller move.
So that the perspective matches across all those shots. A lot of planning, and all of that got stripped and wasn't necessary because of this awesome solution in Gaussian splatting. So
Superman may be faster than a speeding bullet and able to leap tall buildings, but even he needs a place to bring it all together. That's where our sponsor, Squarespace, comes in. Squarespace has the tools, the templates, and the style to make your site heroic. So Squarespace now has something called Blueprint AI, which makes building your site faster than ever. Instead of starting from scratch, you answer a few quick questions and it generates a professional design tailored to you. It's like having a super powered sidekick for web design. They also give you built-in SEO tools. That means your site isn't just looking good, it's easier to find. Squarespace helps put you on the map without you needing to be a tech genius. And with their all-in-one payment system, you can sell products, manage invoices, and handle subscriptions all in one place. No extra plugins, no messy workarounds, just everything you need streamlined and secure. Click the link in the description below if you want to learn more. And when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/corridorcrew for 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website. Back to React.
then we've got flying, right? What does Superman do best? Gets those little feet up and starts flying.
Dude, that CGI hair, for some reason, the first thing I noticed.
Was that a whole thing you were about to bring up? Did he just like steal your thunder on that?
He didn't steal it, but he called it out, and I'm glad he did.
Sorry, I've been seeing this movie before.
So his hair here is CG?
His hair and his cape, both fully CG. They have him on the LED stage. They're 100% replacing all of that, I would imagine. But the rig itself is cool because his feet are like mounted to like this baseboard, and there's a guy on the back who's just spinning him like a wheel. And then he can always just let his feet up to stand up again. If you notice what he has on his head there.
Is that a bald cap? Is he wearing a bald cap?
He's rocking a bald cap.
Or a shower cap?
He's rocking a bald cap so they can just put that CG hair on there, because that is 100% the best solution for this kind of wind speed. You know, if he's barrel rolling and flipping and turning, you can change the wind direction with that to account for it.
Because here's the thing. Let's say, oh, just bring in a leaf blower and blow it really, really hard to get his hair to fly around. Then he's gonna be like, I'm Superman!
Yeah.
I'm so super! It's like, no, Superman has his eyes open and he's enjoying flying at 400 miles an hour across the ice. His eyes aren't gonna be open for that if he was like trying to do that on set, you know?
And you can see the camera move that they're doing. I mean, you're getting so much of the stage floor. You're getting the areas of the LED panels that are like removed for the rigging. Like you can't use any of that. So they'll have to replace that anyway. But of course it does give you that perfect lighting match when you come to compositing time.
But like that first shot where he's flying towards the glacier and they're like, and 3, 2, 1, spin. And then like the shot continues and then they just wait for the shot to reset so that they can do it again. That's actually pretty smart. So you can get a few takes in a really short amount of time.
So yeah, that's really cool. But there was one big fight scene with a kaiju monster.
Is it
big old
Caillou?
beast. Caillou, yeah, depending on
Caillou.
Caillou.
It's a pretty classic superhero trope to catch things that are falling. Superman 20 years ago caught that airplane out of the sky as if the whole structural integrity of the plane wouldn't collapse under that point. So I'm glad to see that at least this tough foot flexes around him and then the ground breaks underneath his own feet. It's like, okay.
One of the aspects of this kaiju battle, I guess one of the more challenging perhaps, would be that the camera is constantly pushing in super duper close, given the scale of Superman in contrast. And the fidelity of the texture holds up all the way in close. And Weta FX were responsible for this monster in this section.
Ooh.
And actually, friend of the channel, Guy Williams,
Really?
was VFX supervisor. He
Guy was a
VFX
supervisor on this?
Yeah.
Sick.
I know, it's
Dude,
super
shout out
cool.
to Guy.
And he said in an interview with Post Magazine, I don't know anything beyond this sentence, but he said that they used resolution independent textures, which I actually hadn't heard before. And based on my limited understanding, it seems to be that these aren't the traditional raster images that we use as textures as we know it, right? Where they're confined to pixels.
Are you saying like the textures are like Illustrator files? Where they're like vectors?
Yeah, instead of being defined by pixels, they're defined by like mathematical equations. So you can zoom in as close as you want and you never reach the resolution threshold.
It's a little like Substance because it's like Substance Designer is a program where you make textures based off of math algorithms and stuff like that. You add noise patterns to it. Typically the workflow there is that then you render out those images. So they've figured out a way, what you're saying, to basically keep that workflow at the final stage of the texturing.
I think so. At first I was like, I've never heard of that before. And then I went, oh, it's Weta.
Yeah, good point.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe we can hit up Guy Williams and ask about that. Because
Hey, Guy, you want to come back and tell us about it?
please tell us about resolution independent textures.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about! He would just puncture through it like a nail.
Yeah, why didn't he just grab her and move her since she's the last one? See how fragile.
That's a sick
Because
shot.
then you don't get that shot.
That's a sick shot.
You want to rise out of the smoke.
Wait, that was a sick shot.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
That's
No.
like-
the moment you go further into that territory, you get Zack Snyder's Superman. All right, you can't go
That's
no
true.
further halt.
What's the point in saving her life if she doesn't have like a visual memory of you being cool that she can like tell other people? It's like doing acts of service or like helping others in need and not filming it and uploading it. Like, what's the point? You need that moment where you look cool, man. But yeah, some really, really cool visuals. Framestore and Weta freaking crushed it. And yeah, Crypto is just a chef's kiss. So congrats to anyone involved in that.
We have looked at Star Trek many times over the years, but somehow we've never actually looked at many of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. So there's a lot of cool visual effects in this movie, but this scene stands out to me because the sense of scale is overwhelming. You would think the water of the ocean would slow it down.
Did it get bigger? I think this spaceship's getting bigger as each shot. It's growing with each shot.
And I just remember thinking, oh my God, you don't get any sense of scale with these ships when they're in outer space because there's nothing else around them. But when you put them in a city, suddenly it's like, oh my God, they're huge.
The VFX in this scene are just so sweet.
The shadow through the water.
Yeah, right? So you get the ocean getting kicked up there. That's a whole water sim. But being able to actually light it with the silhouette of the ship is crazy. But there's a shot here in particular that kind of blew me away. And it's this one right here. The buildings in the reflection of those windows do not exist. I think they're actually filming somewhere. Like, that looks like a real building. And those are probably real windows and real people that they're running by. And he's probably sprinting for real.
Oh, Lord.
But look at the freaking building bridge.
Oh, Lord.
There's a chance that the two buildings on the left and right are real, but they added in the bridge between them. It's like every single one of these shots, we're watching this dude run, but the background is sci-fi. They basically had to recreate all of San Francisco as imagined as how it could be 200 years from now.
Wow.
And so now we're in the realm of basically everything is full CG except for what they're standing on. They actually built out that little garbage truck. That's an actual practical set that they're filming on outside in a lot in LA. And so that way you get all the proper sunlight value of them being in the sunlight. In fact, they're also replacing the ship in most of the shots too. But the thing that takes the most work here is completely in the background. And it's the fact that every single shot has cars going down the street, life, living as normal, because they tried to make everything tangible in a realistic way. It's like, it's the future, but it's gotta feel like for real. It's like, this is a future where flying cars exist, so you have to design your city around that type of infrastructure. The movie itself kind of like breaks logic sometimes and doesn't make much sense, but I enjoyed the movie.
Same.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I liked it.
I saw it in theaters. It was pretty intense. All right, yo, I watched K-Pop Demon Hunters. It's pretty freaking crazy, and it's really good. We should watch it right now. That was pretty good.
Let's watch it again.
You want to watch it again? Okay, yeah. It's a K-pop band. They're also demon hunters. The other rival K-pop band, yeah, they're demons. Conflict. But the thing is, what's super cool about this is that Sony Animation Studios worked on it. Same team who was working on Spider-Verse. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. They did a better job with this movie.
Wow.
Than Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse, I actually don't like the Spider-Verse movies because I think the editing in them is too crazy. And this
Hot
movie
take.
perfects it. It's like all the same sweet animation styles you love, but in a cohesive, you can actually comprehend what's happening on the screen.
It's a takedown. I'ma take you out. You'll break down like what?
They're singing while they kill the demons?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're a band, also they're demon hunters.
There's like a thing, it's like they're sirens and their music keeps the
Born with voices that could drive back the darkness.
it helps. It's good songs and, you know, yeah.
It's like insanely well produced. The animation is really great. It's cool. It's got that weird, like, kind of 2D animation, low frame rate. You can see the similarities with this in the Spider-Verse film. It's obviously a different, like, director and all sorts of different talented people working on this, but still a lot of the actual animators from the Spider-Verse movie worked on this.
A diss track to expose the Saja Boy and send those disgusting demons back to the depths where they belong! Yeah!
I love it. I think it's so cool.
Do you think they're making like new models for those moments? Like that shot there, it's like they're bringing in new teeth for that.
Yeah.
Because normally you would just draw like, oh, this is a moment, I'm gonna draw the teeth crazy. But for a 3D animation, you have to make those teeth. You can't just draw them. And I imagine, you know, like the stuff that's painted on, like on her forehead, on the eyes there. But like her, for instance, it's like, yeah, her teeth are huge, her eyes are even bigger. I assume that's like an asset swap.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, when you're making a 3D model like this for animation, you're gonna be putting in like blend shapes or you're rigging it and doing weights and all this stuff like that. But eventually, like those teeth, those aren't in the core base model they're using for animating the dialogue scenes. So yeah, you're totally just doing a swap there to something custom made. I like they even got the triangular like anime forehead vein. It's such a nice touch. Do you see that? They even have like on the arms, they have the smear frames.
I noticed during that fight when she was like throwing the daggers, she'd spin around and you'd see like a trail of daggers like the smear frames.
So a lot of the animators, when approaching these shots, they would film themselves and basically make a previs.
I mean, that's pretty normal for animation movies like this.
Yeah, no, it's totally normal, but I'm just glad that they're posting them.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair.
Because this isn't like in a studio. It's not. They're not on a stage. I love that one where that one right there. Where he like turns in like, and you see him like really capture that.
I just am so fascinated by the combination of style. I just think it's so visually interesting.
Everything is so visually pleasing.
The thing about animated shows like this is that everything is CG, and it's like, we know that, of course, but a simple shot of them walking down the hallway, like that whole hallway had to be designed.
That's the thing too, is like typically if you're a post house, you've done similar-ish projects before, you've built assets, you can reuse those assets. This is a completely unique style. This is all ground up stuff.
It's just one of those things that people take for granted about animated movies, is that it's more than just like the character you're seeing, it's all the subtleties around it that also are bespoke. Would it be fair to say that K-pop dancing is like a very unique style?
Well, I have a clip for that too. If you're gonna make a movie about K-pop, it's like probably gonna actually just hire a bunch of K-pop professionals.
Yeah.
When I watch this though, and I see the reference, like the dancers are good and the choreography is good, but it's crazy seeing how much they can take that animation and then just like make it like lock in.
They just air fry, they crisp it up, it's so sharp.
You would expect to do motion capture for something like this. They're doing these intricate dance moves and whatnot.
Right? It's 3D. It's 3D. You're working in 3D software, so why not just take motion capture?
Because it's like, it still needs to be artistically interpreted.
Just like you can interpret words any way you want. Yeah, the animation too.
Mocap is not just like a clean, easy solution for animation a lot of the time, and you still have to go in and fix stuff. So for something like this, where you need to make sure that all of the dance moves are not only precisely how they've choreographed it, but also just like sharp and animated, that's gonna require an animator's touch. You might as well just do the animation.
Here's why I think this is better than Spider-Verse. There's a lot of the same explorations of like multimedia and multi-genre animation in this. Everything is so much more cohesive with like the pacing and editing style. Like the Spider-Verse stuff has great stuff in it, but like there's something about the Lord Miller movies that they're just like, we're gonna cut every shot like 20% before it ends. Like, you know, like everything's just gonna be like hyper edited to a point where Like you can't quite comprehend what's happening, but you get the sensation that you're enjoying it, you know? And it's like, I don't know, it's really triggering for me. And I feel like they figured this out.
Let's go kill these guys.
Anyway, so yeah, cool movie. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. So it's pretty cool. Hey, check it out. We got metal shirts now. They're actually super sick. If you check out the Corridor store, we got some of the sickest new metal merch, t-shirts, hoodies, and some sick hats.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week.
My little soda pop.